Hey guys, and welcome back. We're going to do some automotive electrical soldering today. So today's focus is going to be on wiring repair. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a couple pieces of regular automotive wiring, and we're going to learn how to do a proper repair. So first things first, wiring that you typically are going to use is a wire that is what we call a multi-stranded insulated wire. And this wire has an outer coating, which is called an insulator, to protect the wire, and for the most part to try to keep it as watertight as possible. And on the inside there is copper wire that is used to allow electricity flow. So a lot of times wires need to be fixed because they may break, or they may need a replacement due to a corrosion or damage or something along those lines. And I want to try to teach you guys how to tie those in correctly so that the repair will be done properly, and hopefully you won't have any issues further down the road. So a couple tools that you need is going to be razor blade. We have a soldering iron. So this right here, this is just a regular plug-in style soldering iron to melt the solder. Then you need some rosin core electrical solder. So what this is this is designed for electronics or electrical components. It is not like the plumbing solder that you can get that has what they call acid core. So the acid core is not correct. It will not work for automotive wiring. It will destroy the wiring and the electrical components. So you want to make sure you use a rosin core solder. And then I just have a pair of wire strippers. So what we're going to use today, just for this demonstration, is an 18 gauge multi-stranded wire. And I want to show you a couple different ways to repair this. So first things first, what we need to do is get the insulation off the wire. So I'm just going to come down here to the 18 piece, and I'm going to give this a little pinch and release a little, and then what that will allow me to do is to pull this wire out and take the insulation off the end. So if I was going to repair a wire that had to be replaced or add in a section, this is probably going to be your best bet on how to do it. So I want to fan these out so that I can intertwine the wire for a strong repair. So with these fanned out, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take them and I'm going to interlay them like I would if I'm just holding my fingers together. And I'm going to make essentially an X, and then I'm going to grab one side, I'm going to pinch, and I'm going to grab the other side, I'm going to pinch. And that's going to get the wires to be pretty close to each other. And then what I'm going to do is I want to twist one around one way and twist one around the other way. And what that is going to do is that's going to lock in the wiring to each other so that hopefully they won't come free, and we can take up any voids in the wire itself. That way we can solder it, and it will be a strong repair. So once you wrap this around, I'm trying to feel around to make sure that I don't have any pieces sticking out. And if I do, I'm just going to make sure that I keep wrapping around so that they're tight. And then if I pull on this, notice that this does not come apart. I can pull that as hard as I want, but those are pretty well adhered to one another. So to make this a permanent repair, all we're going to do is we're going to use a little bit of solder. And what that will do is that will melt into the little voids and the crevices to make sure that this stays put. And then after that, we put some type of protective coating over the wire so that you don't have any exposed. So I'm just going to use this pair of cutters just to support this, just to show you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my soldering iron, and this has been plugged in, and I'm going to make sure I clean it. So I get a little sponge here that's been wetted, and I'm just going to try to clean off this to make sure there's no contaminants on it. And then what I want to do is I want to take a little bit of fresh solder, and I want to make sure that I put it all over the tip. What that will do is that the rosin that's in there will help kind of clean everything. And then I'm just going to make sure that I wipe this off and get off any of the solder that's there. And what that does is that makes this tip clean, and it takes any of the, like I said, contaminants off of it, and now it's ready to be used. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this at about a 45-degree angle, so that I'm kind of seeing where this tip is, and then I'm just going to take a little bit of the solder, and I'm going to heat up the wire with a soldering iron, and I'm going to put the solder right in between where the soldering iron is and where the wire is. I'm just going to slowly feed in just a little bit, and I'm not going to try to put a whole lot in. I've seen over years, people will just keep feeding tons and tons and tons of solder into this to try to make it fill all the voids. Now I've only used maybe about a quarter of an inch, if that, of solder off of this to melt into this wire. And what happens is when you melt it in the right way, what it will do is it will go into all the nooks and crannies that's in there, and essentially it just looks like it changed the color. It doesn't change the thickness of that repair. So the point to this is that when you do the repair this way, the solder actually follows into all the areas inside of the wiring, and to kind of double check that, so that if you're doing this at home, if you just took this and cut this apart, like as a kind of a practice, I'm looking inside the wire to see if I'm still seeing any of that copper color, and I'm not. Right there, it's completely through. There's the solder throughout. I've seen many people that when they do this, that the outside layer will look like it's got solder on it, but when you cut into the inside, it doesn't. And that just leaves an area for, say, moisture or a buildup of resistance can happen, and then you can have an issue further down the line. So that right there is going to be how you want to see it kind of laid out, is with the solder fully encapsulated inside the wiring. And the next piece that we want to do is going to be what we call a telephone tie. And what that is I'm going to try to take a piece of wire. So say if I had, say this wire was inside of a car, and I needed to either add into it, or I needed to repair a couple different wires and add in another piece, I'm going to do what they call a telephone tie. And what that is I'm going to take a little razor blade, and I'm going to make two cuts into the insulation. So I'm just going to take this and I'm going to roll it around the insulation. And I'm not going to try to push down too hard where I try to cut the wire. I'm just trying to cut the insulation itself. And then you see this kind of a little crack there. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to take this razor blade now, and I'm going to go down the wire where those cracks were that I just made, and I'm just going to slowly cut away the side profile of this wire so that it will give me access to what's underneath. So you can see there's a little bit of the wire underneath, and all I'm doing is I'm just going to peel this insulation back, almost like peeling a banana, and I'm going to pull that off of there. And what that will do is that gives me a point at which I can access the wire and not have to cut the wiring apart if it was, say, in a vehicle. So once I get that peeled off of there, all right, I'm going to have my wire looks like this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of untwist it a little bit. And then what I want to do is I want to just open up this wire a little bit. So if I take my finger, I can kind of get my nail inside there, and I can get a little opening. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my razor blade. You can use like a pick, or you can use a little flathead screwdriver or something. And all I'm doing is I'm just opening it up, and I'm making like an eyelet, almost like, like a sewing needle. And then I'm going to take my other wire that if I was going to add in a wire, and I'm just going to straighten that out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to feed it through. When I do that, it's gonna come inside, and then what I want is I want to take this wire and I want to try to get the end of it so that it matches up with the one down here where that insulation is. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to twist this around, and I've made a piece now where I've spliced a wire in, and I can now have two wires coming off of one. I'm going to do the same thing if I want to solder that to make this stay. Same deal. Here I'm just going to heat this up a little bit, and then I'm just going to add a little bit of solder, kind of work down the wire just a little bit. What that will do is that will ensure that these two pieces stay together. And then from there, I could go on and add some weather pack insulation or tape or whatnot, how you want to do that. So this is what they're going to call a telephone tie. So now I've got, for say one wire that may feed a circuit, and then I've got two that can come off of it. So this is something that you may see on like parking light on a car. So you may have one wire coming to feed, and it has a parking light on the fender, and then say one at the front corner or in the back. Instead of running multiple wires, you can branch these off a little bit, and it makes for a quick, easy, and a nice kind of seamless repair, especially when you do a insulation over this. It makes a really nice transition. So a couple other ways that people will do these is they'll take these wires and they'll do like a pre-treatment on the ends of the wire, where they'll actually take and they'll solder them first. So if I took this wire and I twisted it so it's all together, and the same thing with this one, people will go through and they'll put solder on this initially at first so that they can try to stick these together. So they put a little solder on this one, and they'll put a little solder on this one, and then what they'll do is they try to take them together. Clean that off. They try to line them up, and they'll try to heat them together. This may work for some people. Not really my favorite way of repairing a wire, but you can take it and you can heat them, and then what will happen is once it cools off, they're together. What I don't like about this is that sometimes the solder doesn't go all the way through, but it also adds this kind of sharp edges on where that wire could poke through. I mean, that's together. You could use that, but like I said, I'm not somebody that would recommend doing it this way. I'd be more apt to tell you to do it where you intertwine them together so that you have a piece that looks like that, where there's a really smooth transition, and the wiring comes together really nicely. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.